Our very special episode of the Rod Serling series, special, as Leonard Nimoy from Star Trek fame directed it, starts with a guy walking along at a pier who sees an attractive woman laying on a barge. The guy approaches the woman and asks her if she needs help. The guy, Ron, clearly has a thing for the woman whose name is Hyacinth. It probably doesn't help that she spends most of their conversation posing like she's on the hood of a car in an 80s rock video. Ron gets especially happy when the woman knows who he is and where he works, but she tells him that he can't help her. We then skip to him going to work where he ignores his girlfriend Phyllis. She asks his boss if he's dating someone else, but he says that Ron is a pretty boring guy, so he doubts it. She ends up asking him herself, and he admits he's obsessed with Hyacinth. We then skip to Ron begging Hyacinth to meet him. She basically gives all the red flags that you can find as responses of why she can't meet him. Can't cross water, can't be out in daytime, but the guy's too obsessed to get it. That day, his girlfriend Phyllis goes to the barge and sees a man with a peg leg leave the barge and walk into town, which is Hyacinth's father. She takes that opportunity to sneak onto the barge. When she does, she sees Hyacinth about to get into a coffin. Hyacinth sees her, walks slowly to her, and attacks her, but is warded off when Phyllis opens the door, letting the sunlight in, hurting Hyacinth. Phyllis heads back to Ron's place and lets his boss, Jake, know that she believes Hyacinth is a vampire. She tries to get Ron to stay back, but he heads off anyway. Again, she gives every hint to the guy that she's a vampire, but he's still dumb. She tells him that as soon as the water is gone from the lagoon, she'll come to him. As he walks away, Jake shows up, who is spying on him. He too is now obsessed and asks if he can share her, but Ron punches him. At work, Ron admits he's not clueless to the whole she might be a vampire thing, but is still into her anyway. That night, he wakes up and Phyllis, who is ridiculously loyal to the dude who is openly trying to cheat on her, tells him she did research on the woman and her father and their link to deaths and disappearances wherever they've been. Ron, of course, ignores all that and heads back to the barge, though this time the plank is out. Side note, a plank is just a piece of wood, so this guy is just lazy. If he really wanted to go see her, he could have. Anyway, he then finds that she's crossed it and is on the pier. She wants him to hold her, and he clearly seems as if he wasn't planning on testing the whole vampire theory because he's beyond nervous. She goes to kiss him, and he stops her. She then tries to bite him, and he pushes her off.
Don't. It's been a whole year. I'm starving.
I'm afraid. I'm scared of those kisses. Hyacinth, no, I lied. I know everything about you, but...
Basically saying he loves her, but not ready to go that far. She then tells him that she's going to let him go out of love so that she can't hurt him, and tells him not to come back. As he walks away, Jake shows up behind her, attempting to put the moves on her. Ron goes running back home and decides he's okay with being with Phyllis, who has a candlelit dinner waiting for him. Before they can drink their champagne, he gets a call that Jake's body was found on the beach. He tells the EMTs he'll meet them at the hospital, but he has to make a stop first. He heads to the barge and confronts Hyacinth. She admits to killing him, but she says he was totally into it, so it's okay. And because he'll come back soon anyway as a vampire. She then says she wants him, but he says he came to kill her. When he gives her what is his overcomplicated plan of him taking her to the beach and waiting for the sun to come up, she tells him there's an easier way as her father has an emergency stake he can use instead. Her only request is that he says he loves her as he kills her because she loves him. Her saying it makes it so he can't do it. He instead goes into her arms. As she starts to fang out, her father comes from behind and stakes her. The last thing we see is the skeleton of her body left behind and her father crying. Thanks for watching. If you like these recaps, please leave a like and subscribe and hit the bell icon to know every time I update. There is now an option to be a channel member where you'll get access to exclusive recaps from late-night vampire catalogs like Showtime, Cinemax After Dark, USA Up All Night, and much more. If you want to help my channel grow, please check out my Patreon, where members can get exclusive content that can't be uploaded on YouTube, along with download options. Link is in the description.